What's happening, people, and welcome back to the channel. We're thinking about moving to a different country. Why are we thinking about moving to a different country? Because the tax is killing us all. So we're all in a crisis of living in the UK, and I think that a lot of people are realising that there ain't much more jobs here. Everyone's trying to go for the same jobs here, and the tax with everything else and all the other prices of traveling and all that, that's all adding to the stress and making people think, let's move abroad. I think there are a lot of people thinking about moving abroad. I made this video because I'm thinking about moving abroad. But before we go on, I need to make sure that you're liked, shared and subscribed to the channel, so my content can be shown to more people who want to see stuff like this, because I've invested a little bit of time to be able to look into what countries I might go to, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. And first of all, I'm going to tell you about some of my experiences with people obviously asking me to work abroad. So back in the day, I had Saudi Arabia come up a few times. I realized the salary was really good, but the things what kind of held me off was just like, I don't know anyone. But it's a silly thing to say when you're an adult, because you're going to meet people, and if you're in a relationship, you know, you're either going to have a long distance relationship or something, but it's work what you're coming for, innit? So that's the main focus, innit? So I thought about stuff like that before, and I've had offers like that, but I didn't go because I was in a relationship. That's my reason why. It's not my excuse, but it's my reason why. So now when I look at it, I'm still in a relationship, so it's still not going to change, but I would go for a while, because I think it's about the experience, and the experience on your CV will speak volumes for you, and definitely for other people who come across your CV at any present point. So that's something I do want to add at some point, just to say that I've done it, you know. The countries which a lot of British people do move to are, which I've done my research, is Australia, Canada, USA and New Zealand. I'm not really surprised with any of those countries, because they're all English speaking countries, so you've got to understand English first speaking, so it's easy for us to communicate. But I always thought to myself that have you got to go that far? So that's why I tried to look for somewhere in Europe as well. So Switzerland has been a country which has always popped up with high salaries, you know. So sometimes at high salaries, it costs you a lot to live there as well. So high living costs as well. But it's something which I would possibly do some investigating into and find out if it's for someone like myself, because when you do search for the highest trades, it does come up particular trades of different countries, but it all depends on your skill set, right? So the skill level, what you do have, if you're coming from the highest level of skill set in that niche of being a carpenter, electrician, or whatever it is what you do, you're obviously going to get the highest amount of salary coming towards you. So USA is obviously one that's definitely strong up there, and it's got a different process towards London, where you got to become a licensed plumber, right? So you got to do like your 10 years, and that's a whole process. I think if you've got the time, that's definitely worth, because most plumbers that I know from America, they look like they've got a little bag on themselves. So I asked them as well. So I think being able to talk to people about it and ask if there's fluently work there definitely will have you at peace, because you know you're at the right place. I would say that at this present time in 2025, I don't think UK is going to get any better anytime soon. It's got to get a little bit worse before it gets a little better. That's what my opinion is. But I would look at places like oil rigs and stuff like that, because you're working away from home, but you're still able to come back within reasonable amount of time. I think it's the working away from home thing which kind of bothers me the most. But I think at this present time, I think a lot of us will get past those types of things, because they're only just, you know, small things what you work on. And once you get used to your environment, it'll be a lot better for you. I think it's very hard at the moment for people, especially tradespeople, to find good paying jobs right now, because of travel, because of cost of living, because of materials. All of these things have skyrocketed up to the point where, like, if you didn't start putting up your prices at some point, you are doing stuff at a loss. And doing stuff at a loss is not good for anyone. Not even good for myself. But you need things which kind of tick you over as well. And even the jobs which kind of tick you over, which are generally the small jobs, there's not enough of them as well. I've found that a lot of other tradespeople, they've started to divulge into platforms where they can buy leads and stuff like that, and that's the main way of them getting money and stuff like that, or getting new jobs. And that's not my style, really. I've always worked. I've had my own company for a while, for about 8 years now, which I'm proud of, because, you know, most companies don't actually make it out past the first year. And especially the time that we're in now, I've always tried to stay small. I do 100% of the work myself, and if I can get people on, I do. But other than that, I try and keep it small, just because of the risk. We're in a high risk business, innit, where there's a lot of cash world, so therefore there's a lot of chance of people knocking people, because everything's done on a handshake. And yeah, of course I'm going to do that. We can't work like that anymore, and I think a lot of people have realised they can't work like that. But I do think there's a lot of opportunities out there for people which are outside the UK, but it's about exploring them and taking the chance to be able to go over there and see things for yourself. I'm definitely going to start to do that, because I want to have a good life, periodly, and I want to enjoy myself, but I also want to be comfortable as well. So being comfortable will allow you to be able to save some money, but also make some money as well, and live to a certain degree, which most people probably want to do anyway. I think there's been a lot of people who have thought about this idea of moving abroad, but there might have been something not right, or something what you weren't feeling, and it might have been a gut feeling at the end of the day. I think my feeling when I got offered jobs in like Saudi Arabia, because there was a few times, I just felt like I didn't want to go because I was in a relationship. It's a shit excuse, but honestly, that's my only excuse, because other than that, I had a friend who worked there, and when she came back, she looked like she was getting money. Maybe because she wasn't spending any money when she was there. I'm not really sure, but she said it was good money, innit? Really good money. And someone's good money to them and your good money is two different things, innit? Because you might know what you can make here out of your 9 to 5 or whatever, and if you do a little extras, you do a little side hustle, you do a little that and do a little this, that will add you up to this. But you're doing a lot of stuff. That's the truth. And even I have to admit that for myself, is that doing too much sometimes allows you to just not have time for yourself. And I feel that when a lot of people are in their 30s, mid-20s, they're thinking about that time which they have for themselves and how they can utilise that time. And that time might be being somewhere else when you've got more time for yourself. And you will be away from your family, but I guess as you grow older, you could migrate to a different country anyway, so that could happen anyway. But what I would like to do is work abroad for a couple of years and then come back, possibly. Maybe when the economy has kind of sorted itself out, and that way it will be easier to get on the property ladder, but also be better for my pocket financially, because that's the end goal, what I'm thinking about at the end of the day. And I think a lot of people think about that when it comes to just having a job. A job is obviously meant to pay your bills. You're meant to be able to save a little bit as well. And I think the disparity between saving a little bit and having a little bit is just gone so far. It's just gone. It's just non-existent at the end of the day. You know, I wouldn't ever say to people, don't get into the trade or don't get a trade. No, tradespeople are definitely needed. It's definitely not going to be taken out by other people. But once the economy is not building and all that, there's not really a high demand for you. So that's something which people need to be mindful of, and especially like the GDP where you are, like in the world. Like, I wouldn't say in London they're doing massive amounts of buildings or needing to do that at the moment. Yeah, it's a cramped space. There's a lot of houses and properties going up, but there's a lot of the average wage has dropped down. It's dropped down like 4 times, like in the space of, I would say, a year. It's dropped down. So people are having to be resourceful. Me, myself, I've been having to be resourceful and doing jobs which are not just plumbing jobs at the end of the day, but they're jobs which are paying me, which I know that, you know what, keep myself afloat until I find something else. But it's been difficult to find something else. So why not look on a larger scale, which is looking internationally to work? It's been something that I've been thinking about for a while, but I thought I'd make a video on it because I know that others have been feeling the same type of way about, you know, going into something new, trying something new which you've not tried before, and just probably going with the flow of it, seeing how it goes at the end of the day. You don't know how it's going to be until you get there, because 2-3 months in, you could be enjoying it and it could be the best ever place you've ever been, just because it's a new surroundings, different people, and you're got a better quality of life, because that's what I care about at this point in my life, is a better quality. And I think, you know, being able to walk down to a beach and all that, yeah, that's amazing, but you're not going to do that every day. I know I wouldn't do that every day. I know I would get used to that every day, but I know it would be a nice thing to be able to have, like, every day. But would I want it forever? I don't know, innit? But I would have to let you know when I'm on the beach. Do you get it? We'll do it live when I'm on the beach, and then I'll let you know if it's good or if it's not, probably. But we'll hopefully see in the future what that's going to be like. But I just wanted to make this a short video about the thoughts what go through a lot of our heads with the time which we're in at the moment, which is we're in a cost of living time. I mean, I've had to really admit that the last 8 months, just because I've been watching the market. I like to be at places where I'm earning a high amount of money, innit? And those places are becoming slimmer and slimmer and slimmer. And I guess if you're constantly looking, you will see some stuff, but there's so many people going for them jobs. I've heard so many people say, you know, like, I apply for these jobs, I apply for that, and I get nothing back, I hear nothing back. And you ask yourself why, innit? You know? But at the end of the day, we can only deal with the cards we are dealt, like within life, innit? So sometimes make yourself other options so you have options. And that's my whole point in this video, is I would explore these options, you know? I'm not outruling these options anymore. Before I was, because, you know, like, you feel like England, Britain's your home and all that, innit? That's where you want to be, innit? But your home could be an apartment, it could be a massive villa, whatever. It could be wherever you want it to be in the world. And it not being it here, it is what it is, innit? I think it's not bad to keep it moving, innit? It's not bad to keep it moving. That's one thing I will say. So I hope you enjoyed this video, because it was a little bit of an insight into my thoughts and my plans, what I'm going to be doing in the future, which is we definitely will be exploring a couple of countries so we can see what it's like and just test the water a little bit, you know? Because unless I test the water, I can't tell you if it's good or if it's bad. But I definitely want you all to come on the journey with me. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, make sure you like, look out for the lives which I've been doing every other day on different type of topics, where I sit down and I talk with you.